Chapter 73. The Qin Family and the Chang Family. Metropolis City, Qin Family. Qin Zibai was heavily injured after being decapitated by Gu Hai's slash, and was carried back to the mansion by a group of family servants. "I'm fine, cough, just recuperate," Qin Zibai said with a bitter smile. "Lord Qin, you're still fine here. That Gu Hai injured you like this, there must be justice. Big brother, you're injured like this, how can you still be fine? That Gu Hai, he must be made to look good. Family master, the young master is injured again." Qin Zibai weakly burst into a bitter smile, wanting to stop, but having no strength in general. A group of family servants anxiously knelt at a doorway. Kwong, that gate slowly opened. From within, a green-clothed old man slowly walked out. The old man was extremely thin, with a silk cloth over his eyes. Holding a bamboo pole in his hand, he slowly walked out of the gate. "Family lord," the crowd respectfully bowed down. "You guys go down," the old man said indifferently. "But young lord him," the crowd anxiously said. "I know all about it. You guys go down," the old man once again said. "Yes," the crowd helplessly retreated. "Father." Qin Zibai was leaned against a chair and smiled bitterly. The old man slowly walked over to Qin Zibai's side and probed his hand to pinch Qin Zibai's pulse. "The injury isn't too shallow," the green-clothed old man said indifferently. "I originally didn't want Gu Hai to lay such a cruel hand on him. Hey, so be it. The grudge between me and him is also counted as to clear," Qin Zibai said with a bitter smile. "To clear? You're overthinking it. What you owe him is considered to be getting heavier and heavier." The old man shook his head. "Huh," Qin Zibai revealed a hint of incomprehension. "Although my father's eyes are blind and the Qin family affairs have been handed over to you, but my father's heart is not blind," the green-clothed old man said in a deep voice. "Yes," Qin Zibai bit his lip. "Although I didn't go to the great battle at the Wuxia Academy, I was able to sense it. Moreover, Shikong got so many Zhuangguang mirrors. How could I not know? At that time, you wanted to stop Gu Hai just out of returning the favor. The grace of saving the life of Dragon Pulse City," the green-clothed old man said indifferently. "Yes," Qin Zibai smiled bitterly. "You're doing it wrong," the old man sighed slightly. "Huh. Returning favors. That's called returning favors when you rush someone when they are in dire need. When the other party doesn't need it at all, you force it on them. Is that called returning favors?" The old man laughed bitterly. "Me?" Qin Zibai's face stiffened. "All humane practices are learnt. Our group of old things who started the country, along with His Majesty. Some of us have already reached the end of our lifespan. Like me, I'm still barely alive. In the future, it's all you second generation's world. Our group of old things, only the old Mo family boy is the most powerful. Oh," the old man laughed bitterly. "Father, you will surely live a long life," Qin Zibai called out immediately. 10,000 lifetimes without boundaries. How many years has this world gone through the ages, and who has lived 10,000 lifetimes without boundaries? No one is qualified. How could I Lao Mo, although Lao Mo went looking, but this son of his can be really powerful, although his cultivation is insufficient. But human kindness, wisdom and means is definitely the first of your second generation. Even we, the old things of the first generation, are inferior to it," the old man laughed bitterly. "Mo yike, father, you're lifting him up too much, aren't you? How could he possibly compare to you guys?" Qin Zibai instantly shook his head. "That's where you're inferior to him. Old Mo died. Mo yike is in Yingzhou, his Mo family's power, but it's scattered sand, even being eaten up by each of our 3 great clans. But look at this, Mo yike has only been back for how long? 1 year. All the former forces of the Mo family that were divided out all went back. That's the trick. You're not as good as him," and I'm not as powerful as him," the green-clothed old man said. Qin Zibai frowned and said nothing. "Forget about Mo Yike. Let's just say that you returned the favor without picking a time, but you owe Gu Hai another favor," the green-clothed old man said bitterly. "Huh. At that time, Gu Hai clearly could have chopped you with a single slash." He stayed his hand. The green-clothed old man said in a deep voice. "Huh, impossible," Qin Zibai shouted with glaring eyes. It was already unacceptable that Gu Hai had seriously injured himself with a single slash, but to actually say that he could still kill him. "Hey, Zhou Qiasan, you think that's his strongest power?" At that time, when he was covered by the Bat Ancestor's 8 hands, His Majesty stepped in. "Do you know how powerful the Che flame released around Gu Hai was at that time? Although it's not as good as the Bat Ancestor, but there should still be a chance that both of them will be defeated," the green-clothed old man said in a deep voice. "Huh," Qin Zibai's face changed. "To defeats with the Bat Ancestor? How powerful would that take?" But this came out of his own father's mouth. Qin Zibai also had to believe it. The Great Qian mission, representing the Great Qian. At that moment, the Great Qian mission was humiliated. Chongsheng didn't even dare to rush up, but you rushed up. Even if you were killed at that time, it was still justified. Gu Hai, however, deliberately released you. Hey, is this not a favor? Qin Zibai was silent for a while. At this time, Gu Hai can even think of enlisting enemy ministers. Hey, this Gu Hai isn't a saving grace either. The green-clothed old man sighed slightly. Qin Zibai frowned in silence. "If you have the chance, get closer to the Moklang kid. I'm approaching the end of my days. I can't protect you for too long." "Alas, approximately tilde." The green-clothed old man sighed slightly. "Father, what are you talking about? Father will definitely be able to break the bottleneck again and increase his lifespan again. Besides, what's the matter with my Doyuan? Why do I need Mo Yikai's protection?" Qin Zibai frowned. "Just now I said that I'm blind in the eyes and not in the heart, and that Doyuan won't be fine. Oh, His Majesty is moving too fast. We can't even keep up," the old man in green clothes said bitterly. "His Majesty is walking too fast. Father, you're saying that His Majesty's cultivation is growing too fast. Isn't that a good thing?" Qin Zibai was stunned. "It should be a good thing, but it may not be a good thing as well. The Empire is at a time when the green and yellow aren't enough, and His Majesty's cultivation grows by leaps and bounds in a single day. Oh, Doyuan, after all, is not a person, but a country. And that Mr. Dongfang, alas," the green-clothed old man sighed slightly. "What happened to Mr. Dongfang, father?" Qin Zibai said in disbelief. The green-clothed old man shook his head without much explanation. "You go and nurse your wounds." With that, the old man in green twisted his head and slowly walked back to the previous house. Quang, the gate closed with a loud bang. "Father, you haven't made it clear yet," Qin Zibai said bitterly. Metropolis City, the Chang family, in the middle of the main hall. Cough, cough, cough. A series of coughs came from Chongsheng. "Father, how are you?" Chongming said, anxiously. The main hall was dark, with a large number of black-robed men standing in 2 columns, looking at Chongsheng on the throne in the northern part of the center. Chongsheng's face was pale and cloaked, with a large amount of blood marks left on his body and face, in the midst of a weak cough. On the side stood the anxious Chongming, worried beyond measure. A few black-robed vampires at the very front, however, had grim faces, revealing a cold smile. "Father, how did this happen? How did you get injured like this? Why did the beginning ancestor injure you?" Chongming's face revealed a look of panic. Cough, cough, cough. "Father is fine," Chongsheng said bitterly. "Nothing. The bones have been drawn 3 times by the beginning ancestor, and you're still fine," a vampire beside him said in a cold voice. Second uncle, what's going on? Why did the beginning ancestor injure my father? Chongming immediately said with red eyes. Chongming, what kind of attitude are you having? The beginning ancestor can injure whomever he wants to, so are you still against it? Besides, wasn't Big Brother asking for it this time? Chongming's second uncle said in a cold voice. Big Brother, you too, at the Five Mountains Academy. The beginning ancestor dealt with those people and asked us to take action. Why did you stop us? Wasn't it just a deal with Gu Hai? If you stopped, the beginning ancestor got angry. He'll definitely toss you are. And along with that, we'll let the beginning ancestor count us out. Another vampire said conspiratorially. Heh, old third. What do you know? They are Dacian emissaries. There's no way His Majesty would let anything happen to them. I'm doing this for your good, for the sake of my Dayuan. Cough, cough, cough. Chong Sheng burst into a coughing fit. For our good, for the sake of Dayuan. Hey haha, Big Brother, you are forgetting, aren't you? We are now the Blood Clan, a race created by the Patriarch. Everything should be centered on the will of the Patriarch, the oldest three said in a deep voice. What if the Patriarch is wrong? Chongming sided with his father. Chongming, you're still young and don't understand anything. How could the beginning ancestor be wrong? You remember, whatever the beginning ancestor says, you must do. The beginning ancestor wants you dead. A single thought, the oldest three said in a cold voice. Me. Chongming was furious for a while. That's why the beginning ancestor is right. The beginning ancestor is always right. The one who is wrong is Gu Hai. It's Gu Hai who caused Big Brother to be injured like this, the oldest three coldly said. Big Brother, next time, you shouldn't be capricious either. Chongming's second uncle shook his head and said, Hey, this family. Are you guys going to be the head of the family? Or am I going to be the head of the family? If you guys want to be the head of this family, it's fine for me to give up my position to you. Which one of you wants it? Chong Sheng steeply and coldly said. The faces of the vampires stiffened. Chong Sheng was only the first-class Grand Duke of the Dayuan Imperial Dynasty, and His Majesty only trusted Chong Sheng. What was the point of His Majesty trusting him when he was the head of the family instead? Chong Sheng sang against Bat Ancestor. Bat Ancestor should have killed him, but it was only for the sake of his power that he gave a lesson. Anyone who wanted to take his place didn't have that ability. You give me to listen well, the Great Qian mission, not to go to find them trouble, otherwise, I peeled you this layer of skin. Then expel the Chong family. Without the blessing of the Chong family, how many people want your life? Humph, Lawa, Lao-san, you guys also remember clearly. If you make a move, I'll skin you all just the same. Don't think I'm joking, Chong Sheng said coldly. Old 2 and Old 3's faces stiffened, but they could only say in a depressed manner, yes. Go down. I'm going to rest, Chong Sheng said in a deep voice. Yes. All the vampires respectfully bowed to Chong Sheng and slowly exited the Grand Hall. Chongming, however, was still holding his breath. His own father had 3 of his bones drawn, and was seriously injured like this, yet he could do nothing about it. The beginning ancestor. Chongming looked in the direction of the beginning ancestor. A trace of resentment flashed in his eyes, but there was nothing he could do. Exit the Great Hall. Chongming's second and third uncles, but intentionally or unintentionally in Chongming's ear said, Alas, Big Brother is really miserable this time. It's all because of that Gu Hai. Unfortunately, I wouldn't dare to disobey Big Brother, or else I would have taken out my anger for the Patriarch and Big Brother. Under the series of provocations, Chongming was instantly enraged. HMPH, you guys don't dare to go. I'll go. I don't believe Father will punish me. Chongming instantly had anger in his eyes and rushed out. After Chongming left, only then did his second and third uncles look at each other, revealing a cold smile. His Majesty opened his mouth. The Patriarchs are not allowed to take action against Gu Hai. We should have done it on his behalf. It's just Big Brother who's a deadhead, Humph. If he won't let us go, let his son go. The oldest three sneered.